4 assists in his 21 appearances. Has been up and down the MLS side as well. 2 appearances this season for FC Dallas. Has spent more time on the bench. Most of his time spent here, however, with North Texas. 7 appearances, 2 assists. And he rediscovered that scoring touch. Very interesting path as well for Milano to get to FC Dallas from his native Colombia. Playing with Deportivo Cali in Colombia 2020 and 2022. He was on their books. He was invited from Cali to train with Bayern Munich in Germany in the summer of 2021. FC Dallas has for a while now had a partnership with Bayern Munich. Send players back and forth to training camp in the summers or winters, and gives them both a chance to get some more exposure, experience, and see the different styles of play. So through that exchange, we saw Milano go from Colombia with Deportivo Cali to Bayern Munich for a training session. They gave word to FC Dallas, checked with Deportivo Cali, he was loaned to Dallas and then purchased by Dallas after that. He had to go from South America to Europe to end up in Texas, and he's been a staple for this next pro side over the last year and a half. Vollmer. O'Malley. Alzolo back again for Vollmer. Ezra Armstrong unable to keep it in.
It's a big field, huh?
Stone. One in the attacking half again by St. Louis. Get the sense that if a goal is going to come here, that's how it'll happen. One of these two teams in that attacking half press, winning it, getting out of transition. North Texas, brought in 2019 to Croatia. Dinamo Zagreb's academy. He signed this year from First Division of Croatia. Possession in the early going, still sides with North Texas, 56%. St. Louis looking to eat into it a bit. Benzel, Vollmer, and Armstrong. Ezra Armstrong now long for Hussein, but too long. All the way again to Eystone. Starting to feel like the goalkeepers are the ones getting the most touches in the way these two teams are playing out of the back. Now North Texas is starting to start from the back. Portion of the match is brought to you by UT Southwestern Medical Center, #1 hospital in Dallas-Fort Worth. Fearless tackle in the midfield. Aiden Glover, Max Schneider, the guilty party, and he receives a yellow. That's the first score of the match. Schneider, defensive midfielder, will have to be careful now. Early yellow cards are things you never want to see as a coach, but particularly when it's one of your defensive midfielders. How often in a game do you see transitional moments, especially the way these teams play, where it bodes well for that midfielder to just make the tactical foul, take the yellow. Something that Max Schneider can afford to do anymore tonight. Keystone pressure. Into the middle here, Norris. Finds the man wide, it's Tyshawn Rose. And headed all the way back to Olivares. In the middle of a very interesting stretch to navigate as a club as a whole, not just this two side here at Next Pro. Congested stretch of schedule in May for all MLS teams, but particularly St. Louis. And then a second as it's through here to Clyde. Clyde saved by Eystone. Second big stop of the night by the 17-year-old keeper. Stuck out the right boot, kept it out. Great through ball. Played in by Batashi. Well struck by Clyde for that far post, but just one of those saves you have to tip your cap for. This stretch for St. Louis at the MLS level sees them playing pretty much every third or fourth day in May. With the Leagues Cup looming for MLS, it's a condensed late spring of May into June before the Leagues Cup window opens. Also, you have to factor in Open Cup for the first team for St. Louis coming up in just a couple of days. And with that, this two side has a match on Wednesday out west against LAFC 2. Taking all this into consideration, at the first team, second team traveling in all different locations. Eystone alert to the deflection from Korchak. All the different roster movement you've seen up to this point this season between the first team and second team as players assimilate back and forth. You only have that right now because of the way the schedule lines up for the first and second team and all the travel involved. Again, Bobby Murphy looks at that as a positive because for the third game running now, he has known exactly what his group would look like. He attributes their run of 5 points of a possible 6 over the last 2 games to that consistency. Long run for Perlaza. He gets there. Perlaza, 20-year-old from Colombia, making his 4th start of the season. He's on loan from Atlético Nacional in Colombia. Made 52 appearances for their under 21s over the years and has 7 goals, 15 assists to his name in those 52 games. Ayevu, a boot to the chest that looked like a late foul call. And a yellow card to boot for O'Malley. O'Malley is trying to plead his case that he's tracking the ball. There was no intent there. Still got the boot up high in the midsection. Whether the intent was there or not, hard to fault our referee, Brad Jensen, for making that call and issuing that card. For half an hour, he's had some thinking to do, Brad Jensen, but he's been spot on with all of it. Ayevu looking for a ball at this point. Finally sent out to him by Olivares. Third free kick from a wide position here for North Texas. Previous 2 times, he got with that quick short 2-touch. Ayevu touches it. Stepped on by Costa, and then Ayevu sends it long. This one taken by Costa. Norris Struck it well, off target. Signed 10 new players on the roster this season. North Texas, excluding different academy guys who have come up through, or first team guys who have come down. Much deeper and stronger core for this two-sided. That's something that's been seen around the league. Wenzel just lost track of the lines there again. Put enough pace on that pass for maybe a 20-yard ball. Only got 10 from the sideline. See, look at his face afterwards as he looked down the lines. That point about the Rockies being deeper this year. Bobby Murphy and Javier Cano ahead of this game expressed that sentiment. Now that we're over a month into the season, typically when the calendar turns from one month to the next, it gives you a natural point to evaluate what you've seen so far. The calendar this past week turned from April to May, and they had a chance to take stock of the league through 6 match days. It's a similar point they made. Rosters are much deeper this year, where last year some teams use it more as a tool for first team players coming down or academy kids coming up. You can hear by Clyde. Puts it beyond Batashi, shot for a penalty, goes unanswered. This year teams have gone the Columbus Crew 2 route. Saw what it did for them last year, winning the title in Next Pro's inaugural season. Adding more players to this two sides so you can have more consistency. Older rosters of hungry pros between the ages of 19 and 22. Rising tide lifts all boats, and we've seen that this year across the league. North Texas still skews younger in some areas. FC Dallas Academy has been one of the best, if not the best, in MLS for quite some time now, in terms of talent pumped through to the MLS side or over to Europe. Navievo going east to west here. Still with it. The feed through for Costa. Out wide for Perlaza. Akar Perlaza's ball in. Sent packing. And Fritz Volmar. Nice move through by Endele to the end line, and it was just over the line for a goal kick. Herbert Endele, making his 6th start of the season, has just 1 goal, the 24th overall pick from this year's draft. 84 games played at Indiana, powerhouse in college soccer, had 12 goals and 17 assists in that span. Second team all-conference in the Big Ten at one point. Signed a 1-year deal after he was drafted with options for the next 3 after this one. Yet to really burst into the first team's plans. His feet firmly planted here on the second team. And very good minutes in the early going of the season. This portion of the match is brought to you by Children's Health, the official healthcare partner of FC Dallas and North Texas SC. Schneider sends it long, the header is off target. Over to Klein. Those two have switched sides now. Louis City maybe seeing something spark some change in this first half. Late foul call against Klein. Hussein started on the right, pardon me, on the left with Klein on the right. 10 minutes to go in this first half. Flip-flopped. Korchak starts this build for the back. And Sean Rose. I think that was his intended target. He was looking for Diego Garcia. Fortunately, Nolan Norris was there. Otherwise, they would have given it away. Yeah, they're attacking third, but it's given away anyway. Closer to midfield. A handball against Norris. Free kick in a good spot here. Get some service in for St. Louis. They've had the better of the scoring opportunities tonight. They forced Eyestone into two terrific saves. One better than the other. That being the second one with the right boot, denying the opportunity from John Klein. North Texas on the other end still just has one shot, and it was not on target. Their best looking opportunity was a well-struck volley by Diego Garcia that didn't end up counting because of a very late offside call. Driven free kick into the ground, saved by Eyestone. Michael Wenzel, clear what his intention was there. And to skip it off this artificial turf. That was a funky balance for Eyestone to deal with, but dealt with it well. Norris to Rose. And Sean Rose in the middle for Endley. Avayevu forgot the ball. He tried to step over. Hussein releases. Foul here against Norris. And he picks up a yellow. Here's a good illustration of the point that I was making earlier. For the careless yellow that Max Schneider picked up for St. Louis. Plays the same position, just on the opposite side as Nolan Norris. You never know as a defensive midfielder when you might need that tactical foul because you get a jail-free card. Now you have a defensive midfielder on both sides with the yellow. Norris for North Texas, Schneider for St. Louis. Wenzel up to Klein, and the overlap for Armstrong, put it behind him. Santos. A very good background, Santos. He's currently on loan from Palmeiras, Brazil's first division. He's played over the top now too. Avayevu, but Olivares is there. Santos, the 21-year-old center back, was the captain of Brazil's U17 side at the 2019 Under-17 World Cup. Here's Glover on the left foot. Glover off the bar! Rebound to Klein. He scores! 40th minute breakthrough for St. Louis. Denied by the crossbar initially, but not on the rebound try for Klein. That is his second goal of the season. And a lead for St. Louis. Caden Glover missed his first career goal by inches. Klein cleaned it up. Well, Oh, I'm sure Bobby Murphy is smiling down on the sideline. You mentioned that the analytics guys insisted that the underlying metrics have been good, and it's only a matter of time before the luck breaks your way and you find a goal. On that first shot, he might have been thinking to himself, oh, here we go again, off the crossbar. But the bounce fell perfectly for Clyde. Maybe there's the universe evening out just a bit. Some of the scoring opportunities for St. Louis so far this season. It's up to North Texas to respond. It's been a sluggish first half for them. Only one shot, not on target. They get so much more on the mind than soccer today. You wonder how that all factors in the psyche in playing this game. You see the black armbands honoring the victims who were lost in the tragic shooting in Allen, Texas yesterday. As I mentioned earlier, their head coach Javier Cano was in the mall where it happened in an adjacent store to where the shooting took place. He barricaded in. It's been a very tough 24 to 36 hours for this team. Game still to be played. Now down 1-0. Lost it, won by Endele. All the way back for Olivares. Asked Bobby Murphy two areas where he felt this St. Louis team could be better after 6 match days. Pointed to the goal scoring, of course. Need to have more than just the 5 goals they had coming in today. Not having a player yet who had more than 1 goal in the season, flying the first to 2. Only scored tonight. But the other area he pointed out is that they still need to be doing better in closing out games. Part of that is finding the second goal to take a larger lead and ease some of the pressure. The other part of that is just being professional in how you close things out. In the win they just had over Vancouver, they held on to the very end and won the game, but Coach Murphy felt there were too many moments that he was thinking to himself, what are we doing? Plays that you don't typically see from successful professional teams as they try to close out games. Plays that nearly cost them what would have been an equalizing goal. They gritted their teeth through it and got through it and saw out the victory. Too many times when they've had leads, they've squandered them. So now stake to 1 here in the late stages of the first half. And you first get it to halftime with a lead. And you adjust and try to hold on in the second half. And you know, North Texas is going to throw everything they have at you. A team that has a good comeback to their name. A couple of games ago, right here at home against Minnesota. Then the top team in the West, Minnesota, had a 1-0 lead, as St. Louis does now. North Texas battled back and won that game 2-1, handing Minnesota its first regulation loss of the season. You know, North Texas is capable of it. You know, that's going to be on the minds of a St. Louis team that has struggled closing out games this season. 2 minutes to go here on stoppage time in this first half. 40th minute goal for John Clyde with St. Louis up 1-0. Physical play between Schneider and Norris. Played in front while Norris is there. Those players have to be careful as they go at it with each other. Norris and Schneider both on yellows right now. Balls for Klein, shielded off at the end by Korchak. Final minute of the first half here as it's rolled out to Perlaza. Perlaza hoping for Avayevu. Avayevu committed the foul. Hustle to keep that play alive nearly. Not for the contact at the very end. And played it off of O'Malley and out for a North Texas throw. And that late contact leads to the foul call.
Soccer game over.